Hello, Chris Maguire here, and I've got some more Hey Chris questions. Today's one is, hey Chris, I get really nervous before a performance, so much so that it usually affects my performance and it doesn't go as well as I would normally like. Any advice for keeping the nerves away? I do have some advice. So the first piece of advice that I tell all my students that may be nervous before a student performance or something like that is that it's actually a good thing to be nervous. It shows that you care about what you're going to be performing. If you weren't nervous, it's kind of a bad sign to sort of think that you don't really care of the outcome, and that's totally not the attitude at all. And do realise that nerves affect even the pros. Even Bono from U2 apparently still gets really nervous just before a show. So it does affect everyone. But there are some certain things that you can do to sort of help the process along a little bit. So number one is really being prepared. If you know that you've really got everything that you've got to play down really well, and you know that you've done all the hard work necessary, then that should still a little bit more confidence in your performance. If your preparation has been a little bit sketchy and you probably could have done a little bit more practice and make sure that these pieces were a little bit more solid, then that's usually when my nerves sort of start, when I sort of think, oh, maybe I could have done a little bit more, but it's a little bit too late once you're just before to go on. So really being prepared helps a lot, just from a confidence and mental point of view. The next thing is, it's a bit of a quirky one, but apparently eating bananas just before you to play can calm the nerves down a little bit. Quite a few classical guitar players do this trick a little bit, and just before they go on they'll eat a banana. Sometimes they'll have like a routine where they'll eat a banana in the morning and then they would eat another banana just before they go on, and it sort of seems to settle their nerves. It might be a little bit of a placebo effect, but you know, whatever works. Maybe you could have a similar sort of ritual with something else. Some bands will always have a pre-gig ritual, and that can keep the nerves away as well. So they're probably my biggest tips. Is one, knowing that it happens to everybody, and really just being prepared, and then you can try eating bananas. The last thing I would probably add is, the more that you do it, the more comfortable you'll get on stage and performing. So this is true for performances, but it's true with songs that you're performing as well. I tend to find that a piece that I've been learning doesn't really come to fruition to where I would really like it. It doesn't really go extremely well until I've performed it like three or four times, and then we're sort of getting into a groove with me and the song, and then it sort of goes pretty good. So sometimes you just need to sort of do it more often, and then just performing in general, the more that you do it, the less likely you are to get nervous. Obviously Bono gets to play all the time and he still gets nervous, but for most people, the more that you are actually doing it, and sometimes taking a longer break if there's been like I don't perform regularly, so if there's been like a good 6 months where I haven't performed, then I can get quite nervous because I haven't actually done it. But if I've had like a really busy month where like I had something on every week, then I don't get as nervous. So it is all about consistency as well. The more you do it, the more comfortable you should get at doing it. So you could try any or all of those tips. So hopefully that helps your nerves. Thanks again for sending me new questions. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, or you can do it the old-fashioned way, old-fashioned as email gets. You can email it to chris@musiccavern.com.au. Cheers, thanks.